Well, some good news at last. DHL have just been with the valve. This is what we were looking for. Don't get much for your money, do you? Anyway, by looking at a new one, you can see the problem that I had, or anybody has for that matter, for stripping them down. You can see where they're crimped over here because there's a big spring in there. So they obviously got some pressure. They're pushing this, compressing this, and then in a machine they're crimping it round. But you see, you haven't got much access in there to get that crimp off. Bugger, isn't it? And there's not much behind here. So this goes to your back brakes, and we weren't getting anything out of here at all. So I'm going to fit this now and cross our fingers we can bleed the brakes out. What a bloody nightmare trying to get those pipe fittings into that valve. You're sort of leaning over. Even then the car was almost on the floor with no wheels on. I still had to get a step to get over. It took me an hour to put 4 pipe fittings on. The bloody things just wouldn't go on. And you can't, there's no space to move. That's the problem. Anyway, it's working. Let's come and have a look. Come on. There, can you see the bubbles? Yeah, it's bleeding out on its own. And that's what it wasn't doing before. See? That's how I bleed them out. It should, if it doesn't bleed out on its own, there's something desperately wrong with your setup. That side's okay. So we'll nip that up. We'll go and have a look at the other side. I think the other side's almost through as well. Let's give it a little nip. And then we're going to put some rubber caps on there. Wash your hands well after this. People ask me why I don't wear gloves, but I'm always washing my hands. You can see how long it takes to get out. Now if we were to push our foot on the pedal, then what it'll do is it'll suck back up this line, not unless you put some sort of non-return valve in. So we just be a bit patient. Well, great success. The fluid should flow through by gravity, because obviously the cylinder's higher, so it'll find its way right down to the bottom and push all that air out. Sometimes it gets a bit trapped, so sometimes you need a little bit of a suction on there. But the problem with the suction type of things is that when you back off the bleed screw itself, you'll start pumping, and then you'll find out it's drawing air through the threads, not the fluid, and it can be a bit distracting. So sometimes a little pressure bleed, having your mate just pump the pedal a little bit, really does help. Yeah, well, that only took a little while, but it was right. It was that valve that was faulty. So if you've got no back brakes, how it passed inspection, I don't know, but it had no back brakes. But if you've got a 90, especially these type of 90s with discs on, don't overlook that valve. All right, see ya.